My name is Rainey. Please excuse the nails. I still haven't gotten them redone from when I couldn't go get them done when I had the Rona. and We are going to do a 2023 goals video today. And yes, I said Rainy Day Reads. You will notice that I did change my channel name back to the original Rainy Day Reads. I just wasn't really vibing, to use the young people's term. I just wasn't really vibing with rainy day reading and creating. It just seemed too long. And I don't know, people just know me as Rainy Day Reads. And I know that it doesn't really encompass the crafting side of things, but, you know, it is what it is. Like when I post a crafting video, you'll know it's a crafting video because I put floss tube in there. So it is what it is. But so today we are talking about my 2023 goals. And partly why I changed my channel name back was because I was overthinking it. And I wanted it to like encompass all the things that I did. And I wanted to like make it, relevant and all this stuff. And I was overthinking. And this year, I would like to stop overthinking this channel and like what I'm doing on this channel and everything. I just want it to be a fun hobby again. It never was like, I never felt stressed out necessarily over it, but I would feel bad if I wasn't posting booktube content, but I kind of was feeling unmotivated last year, and I was definitely more into the crafting side of things. I still am into the crafting side of things, and I still will post probably, hopefully, equal parts books and crafts, but because those are my two hobbies at the moment. But I want to kind of get more into the reading side of things again. I feel like I really backed off last year from booktube because I just didn't feel like I had the content or whatever. So this year I'm just gonna post what I want to post, and post if I read one book in a week or something, I will just post about that one book. And I won't get overexcited if I don't read the amount of books I think I'm supposed to read. That being said, you will probably see another video from me shortly in this same getup, because I think after this video, I'm going to post a recent reads video. I think that might be more sustainable to me, maybe, than wrap-ups at the end of the month. Just to maybe do like a mid-month wrap-up, or like I said, a recent reads. Maybe, I don't know. that will kind of be organic. I don't know, but I definitely want to have some kind of a log of what I've been reading this year. So let's talk Goodreads. I set my Goodreads goal at 100 books this year, and I probably will not reach that goal. Let's be honest. I got to, I think, 69 books last year, and that's fine. I had a book that I carried over from 2022 that, like, in my heart of hearts, I wish that I had finished it in 2022 so that I could say I read 70 books instead of 69. But, it is what it is. I felt that I hadn't read enough of that book in 2022 to count it, so I'm counting it for this year. But so I put it at 100 books. I may put it back down again, or I might just leave it there and, oh well. If I reach it, great. If I don't, no big deal. I don't really put a whole lot of stock into the Goodreads thing, but it's a fun challenge to have. So along with not stressing myself out about how many books I read, I don't want to have more than 2 books going at any one time. It would be preferable if I only had 1 book going at a time. Actually, this past week, I was able to listen to 3 books, but I read them, like I finished 1 book and I started the next one, and then I started the next one. So I never was listening or reading more than one book at a time, and I really liked that. It was just very refreshing. It gave me room to do other things. And I think that that is a good way to go for me. Now, that being said, this coming week, I am going to be starting a rather large book in print. So I definitely will be utilizing an audiobook too while I read that, because that will probably take me a while to physically read that book. But I want that to be my only physical book going, and I don't want to start another audiobook until I finish the current audiobook that I'll be starting tomorrow. So that's my plan. We'll see how well I stick to it throughout the year. But it's definitely already proving to be much less stressful. Like having way too many books on the go at one time, plus my crafting projects, kind of makes me feel like I'm back in college. I mean, not the crafting part. I didn't have time to craft in college, but all the books and all the pages and like it was stressing me out. So it made me feel like I was in college. So we're going to try a more relaxed approach this year. Also, I would like to try to read at least one nonfiction per quarter. So, I mean, really, that only says 4 nonfiction books in a year, but that's probably more than I usually read. So, I'm thinking that I will strive to at least read one nonfiction per quarter. And if I read more, that's great. But I will definitely try to pick something that I will enjoy reading. And yeah, the thing with nonfiction for me is that I tend to like get so far into a nonfiction, and then I'm like, yeah, that's good enough. I'm done. So then I'm like, do I count this as read, even though I maybe only read like 3/4 of it? Or, there's a book that I was reading on Jane Austen for Jane Austen July last year. I only got halfway through it and I still have the bookmark in it. I didn't count it because it's only halfway done and I still intend to finish it. I just kind of got like, nah, that's okay. I've had enough. I don't know why. Tell me, are you like that with nonfiction? Because I feel like I'm the only one, but I have heard a couple of different people tell me that they too are like, they get so far and then they're just done. So I do want to get better about nonfiction though. So I figured, one a quarter is a good baseline. And then if I read more, then I'll have exceeded my goal. Now, kind of along the lines with nonfiction, which if I stick to my guns on this one, this will be plenty of nonfiction to read, but I am attempting to read the Bible in a year, and this is my Genesis scripture journal that I bought off of Amazon, and I'm going to attempt to do the Bible recap, which is a chronological study of the Bible in a year with a podcast for each day that kind of talks you through each section. So I started doing that last year with the New Testament, and I got a little bit through the Old Testament, and then I kind of fizzled out. But this year I'm starting in the New Testament while I'm still like gung-ho. And then hopefully that will help me to get through the more boring books, let's just be honest, in the Old Testament, while I'm still kind of gung-ho to read all of that. So I consider this, obviously, because I am a Christian, I consider this nonfiction. It is nonfiction, if you ask me. So right here, I am exceeding my goal in the nonfiction category. But of course, I want to read some other nonfiction too. And then along with reading the Bible every day, I'm trying to like figure out what's a good place to put these, but I'm going to be doing some different studies. And right now I am doing a Genesis study with some friends, and I am doing this Genesis study from Daily Grace Co. But we also bought another book that is just some like Bible notes that a pastor put together for the book of Genesis. So that's kind of been interesting to look through and see what she was thinking when she wrote a bunch of notes in her Bible. And I think the other girls that I'm doing the study with are enjoying it as well. So another goal that I have is to keep up with my reading journal, which this year it's a digital reading journal that I will post the video to that I made. I think I might have made it on first. I'm not sure. I am trying to keep up with that. I'm trying to keep track of my pages that I read every day. And I'm trying to keep a log of what I've read and what I rated everything. And along with the keeping up with the reading journal, I would also like to keep up with writing just a short review in both my reading journal and on Goodreads, and just so that I can just get better about that, of thinking critically or thinking thoughtfully about the books I read, even if they aren't like the most thought-provoking books, because like I read a lot of cozy mysteries and stuff. Those aren't exactly deep thinking books, but I enjoy them and I want to rate them and review them. So so I'm going to try to at least write a couple of sentences for every book that I read this year. And last but not least, one of my big reading goals this year, which I'm probably not going to reach, but I'm just like working towards it, is my friend Marcia got me for my birthday or Christmas or something one year these 100 epic reads of a lifetime. And it's like a scratch off, which you can see that I did scratch off Alice in Wonderland. But I never really continued with it because just where I had it, it was hard to scratch them off and everything. So I decided that I want to read or attempt to read 40 of these books this year that I haven't read yet. And I did go through all of them, and there were enough for me to do 40. I think there actually were 42 that I hadn't read. So I'm going to attempt to at least try 40 books from this list. I can't promise that I'm going to read them all. I may DNF some of them, but the reason I chose 40 is because 2023 is my 40th year on this earth. So I was trying to come up with some challenges for my 40th year, and quite honestly, this is the only one that I could really come up with. So I'm going to attempt that. And so the first book that I am going to attempt to read from that list is Cutting for Stone by Abraham Verghese. I don't know if that's how you say his name. But, oh, and this is also, I hadn't written this one down, but I do want to attempt to read more diversely from around the world. And this book is set mainly, I think, in Ethiopia, or partly in Ethiopia, partly in America. But the author is an Indian doctor who lived for a large majority of his life in Ethiopia, helping with, I believe, like HIV patients in the 80s, or maybe that's when he came to America. I don't know. But at any rate, he is Indian, and he lived for a large majority of his life in Ethiopia. So this will work for kind of that challenge. I don't know if I would consider this then an African book for Ethiopia or an Indian book for the author. I'm not really sure, but probably Ethiopia, since it's set in Africa for the most part. So it is a chunker. It is 680 some pages, and this is one that I'm going to start physically tomorrow. So it will probably take me, actually I might start it tonight, but this might take me a little while, so we'll see. So that's a sneak peek into my recent reads that I'll be talking about in my next video. But yeah, that is all of my imminent goals for 2023. Again, I don't want to really overthink anything. I am a goals-oriented person, so sometimes I have a tendency to go a little overboard, but I feel like these are manageable goals this year, and ones that I'm kind of like, if I get them done, great. If I don't, great. The only thing I do want to make sure that I do is Bible reading every day, and potentially, hopefully, do the Bible in a year. But even if that doesn't work out, if I have to skip a day here and there, I'm not going to stress myself out about it. If it takes a year and 2 days to get through the whole Bible, that's fine. So it's not my first rodeo with reading the Bible. So, it can take me a little longer or whatever. So, because plus I want to do some study, some deeper study too. So, the Bible in a year plan is more just to get me into the Bible every day. And then I might do like 1 day a week where I do some more intense Bible study. Plus, I have a Bible study that I attend with some friends, so which is a whole other book of the Bible that, I'm doing a Genesis study right now, and then I think we're starting Daniel this week for that Bible study. So I have a lot of Bible reading this year. So we'll see if that 100 books for Goodreads really happens, because I don't think that it will. But whatever. So, okay, so this is getting long, so I will let you go. But I hope you are having a great start to 2023. I will talk to you in my next video, which will probably be tomorrow in the same outfit. All right, friends, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.